that hits not the first night, but the second night. We've seen that a lot this season, but a chance to sleep it off again last night, and the Lancaster Barnstormers will turn the baseball over tonight to a guy who had a magnificent Barnstormers debut just 6 days ago. That's left-hander Luis Gonzalez. He pitched one-hit baseball against the Long Island Ducks for 8 innings in a Barnstormers victory here 9-2 in the series finale last Thursday. Gonzalez will be pitching against a former Barnstormer, right-hander Kyle Simon, who was given the opportunity to start this year by Stan Clyburn, and Simon has responded very well. He is 6-5 with a 2.87 earned run average. He has not thrown quite enough innings as of right now to qualify to be the ERA leader, but he's only about 2 shy, and once he clears that hurdle, he will be the ERA leader in the Atlantic League for 2016. The Barnstormers need to win virtually every game. They're still alive. The tragic number is 6, but that's only in regards to the Sugarland Skeeters. A number of other things would have to fall into place even if the Barnstormers were to catch Sugarland. But as long as that magic number has not dropped to 0, the Barnstormers are alive. They have a shot, and everybody's just talking about going out there and playing tonight's game and then seeing what happens. Last night we had a chance to celebrate an accomplishment that's been 5 years in the making, and that accomplishment was Blake Galen hitting his 62nd Barnstormer home run last week. Which of Blake's 62 home runs was his favorite? Well, we'll let him tell you when we come back on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with Blake in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot.
Woo-hoo! I won!
So if you can't wait to win, then don't wait to play. Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery for a chance to win up to $1 million on the spot. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer here from Gockenauer Appliances, proud to be a sponsor yet again for our hometown Lancaster Barnstormers. We support them on the field and every one of you across Lancaster County with the very best appliances in the area. We are proud to be in our 67th year and 4 generations of family ownership, all to serve you and take care of all your appliance needs. Come see us at 5939 Main Street in East Petersburg or on our website at gockenauers.com.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Last night we had the opportunity to honor a guy who's been certainly a big part of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball for the past 5 years, and that's Blake Galen. And Blake, congratulations on becoming the all-time home run leader. And Lance Burkhart wanted me to pass along those congratulations as well, that you finally got past him.
Yeah, I appreciate it to both you and Lance. And yeah, it's been a fun little ride here so far, and it was exciting to make it happen at home, definitely.
Yeah, you've been swinging the bat really well here for about the past month or so, and that's been without being able to play every day. So do you feel your swing is there now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. At the plate, I'm real comfortable right now. My swing, like you said, it's gotten a little bit better over the last month or so, and I'm pretty comfortable right now, and I'm just trying to keep that going.
As you look back over your time here, you've been a slugger at times, and then there have been other times you've been more of an average hitter. You've drawn a tremendous number of walks. You just sort of adjusted to the need, where you are in the batting order, and what ballpark you're in.
Yeah, and that's, it's season by season. The ultimate goal is to get signed. And early in my career, I didn't really try to be a power hitter. I was really just trying to get on base. I led off most of my career up until the time that I came here. And so I was basically a prototypical leadoff hitter. And it didn't really get me the exposure that I wanted. And I talked to a few people, and, home runs started becoming the name of the game. And so I kind of dedicated some off seasons to try to hit with more power. And it ended up working out, and I ended up getting a lot more recognition that way from affiliated teams. So that was kind of the goal. And right now this season, obviously it's so late in the season that it's you're playing to win at this point. You're not playing to get picked up. You're playing to win. And so wherever I am in the lineup, and whatever the situation is during the game is the situation that kind of dictates what your role is going to be.
Yes, 62 regular season home runs. We didn't count the home runs you hit in the postseason, but there are several of those as well. York knows 3 in 2 games against them back in 2012. Is there any particular home run here that stands out in your mind that's your favorite?
If I had, that game's a big one. And then the one against Somerset last year, was it last year or the year before?
14.
It was we came back. I think it was a 10-run deficit in the 7th, and we put up 10 to tie it. And I hit 2 homers in that inning, and that was just amazing because I let off the inning with a homer, and then hit a 3-run to tie it, and that was just the feeling running the bases, hearing the crowd into it, hearing everyone. We were just so fired up. I'll never forget that.
The one thing I actually remember about that home run is it came off Danny Herrera, and you actually just missed on the pitch before.
Yeah, I remember the at-bat almost to the pitch. And, yeah, I mean, we were both kind of grinding throughout the entire at-bat. He made some really good pitches. He almost struck me out on a slider that I just got a piece of. I roped one foul, just by the bullpen, and I was trying to think with him what he was going to try to throw me, and I sat on his screwball at the time. He's now throwing a lot of knuckleballs, but I sat on that screwball and he threw it, and I connected, and it was just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, you've been here through the disappointment of 2012, Game 5 of the championship series, and the exhilaration of winning the championship here in 2014. The 2012 team overall, probably the better team over the course of the season, but those things happen in that short run in the playoffs. Yeah,
you're 100% right. If you look at the numbers, we put together a stretch, I think, where we set the Atlantic League record for wins in that 2012 season. And, if you look at the lineup, the way it was set up, we had speed for the first 3 guys in that lineup, and then you had power for the next, 5 or 6. And it was just, there was no easy out in that lineup. And, the 2014 team, it was very similar in terms of how the lineup was set up. And we had some clutch hitters, at that time on that team, and it was just really, it was a really cool experience to be able to, to win that championship here, especially in front of the home fans.
Lancaster has sort of become a home away from home for you, and I think you're always welcome here and how much the fans love you. And even though it was a smaller crowd last night on a weeknight in September, the reception was still very warm. Very warm.
I can't express into words how much I appreciate the fans here and how good they've been to me. Like you said, it's been a second home for me, my summer home basically for the past 5 years off and on. And it's definitely it's an honor to have been honored, especially in front of the home fans. And I feel like it's just it's been great for me, and I hope it's just been as great for them.
What are you looking at down the road?
I try not to look too far down the road, honestly. I try to just kind of to keep it day by day. I try not to think too far ahead in my career. I try not to think too far ahead in life, and just kind of try to make every day count.
Now, from what I saw on Facebook that your Uncle Barry posted, you're going to have a chance to play in the World Baseball Classic qualifier.
Yeah, I am. I'm very fortunate to have been put in that situation, and this opportunity is going to be huge for me. The Team Israel was it kind of came out of nowhere. Charlie Cutler was on the team, and he was talking about it with me, and I was thinking, I'm half Jewish, so I was thinking about, I was like, well, I wonder if they need outfielders, trying to think, because I know how great of an opportunity it is to play in the World Baseball Classic. Long story short, a mutual friend of ours connected me with the right guy, and they were very interested, and we got the ball rolling, and I'm on the official roster.
When does that take place?
September 22nd through the 25th will be the qualifier games in Brooklyn. And if we win that, then we go to South Korea.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I talked to Charlie a little bit about it, and he said it's going to be some of the best baseball experience I've ever played in my life. I don't know if he's talking about on the field or if it's just, the entire situation, but he made me look forward to it even more because he was part of it in 2013 as well.
I've got to think that playing in Brooklyn is a serious home field advantage for Team Israel because there is such a huge Jewish community in Brooklyn and Queens and the New York City area that you're going to have some backing up there.
I would think so too. And the groups, the three other teams that are in this bracket are Great Britain, Pakistan, and Brazil. So I feel like our heritage will outnumber their heritages. So if there is a home field advantage, if there is such a thing in this kind of tournament, I feel like there is a slight home field advantage for Team Israel.
Well, Blake, again, congratulations on a great 5 years here and whatever the future holds for you, and go Team Israel.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Blake Galen joining me tonight on the Gocknauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll have the starting lineups for this evening's ball game in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We at Gocknauer Appliance know that buying a major appliance for your home is a major and tough decision. We want you to make that process easier. We now have a new website at Gocknauers.com that you can view live inventory, spec sheets, and all of our closeout and scratch and dent inventory. Browse the site and either purchase online or stop into our store and see the models in our huge showroom. Remember, we still offer the best brands at the best prices and back it up with the best service around. Gocknauers in East Petersburg and now online.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
Stan Clyburn and Butch Hobson exchanging the lineup cards here this evening, and here's how they read for the visiting New Britain Bees. Same lineup as last night. James Skelton leading off, doing the catching. The left fielder batting number 2 is Greg Golson. Jovan Rosa, the third baseman, will be batting number 3. The cleanup hitter is DH Craig Maddox. Cole Garner is batting 5th in right field. Michael Krause, the center fielder, is hitting 6th. The first baseman batting 7th is John Griffin. Steve Carrillo is batting 8th at second base. Jake McGuigan is the shortstop. He is in the number 9 slot. On the hill will be right-hander Kyle Simon, the 6'6" right-hander from California, a Barnstormer in 2015. He is 6-5 for New Britain here this season. For the Barnstormers, the lineup pretty much the same as last night. Caleb Gindel leading off in center. Left fielder is Trayvon Robinson batting number 2. Casey Hobson batting 3rd at first base. The cleanup batter is the third baseman, Josh Bell. Sean Moulton in right field batting number 5. The DH hitting 6th is Blake Galen. That's the one change from last night. Kevin Aarons batting 7th at second base. The catcher is Mike McDade hitting 8th. And Dean Wilson is the shortstop in the number 9 slot. On the hill is left-hander Luis Gonzalez, 1-0. He threw 8 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 run last Thursday against the Long Island Ducks. We'll have play-by-play baseball coming your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
It's nice out and you just want to relax after a day at work. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great idea. For Monday through Thursday home games, the Barnstormers have super dinner and a ball game deals at Clipper Magazine Stadium. On Monday, join us for an all-you-can-eat pork barbecue dinner in the Hess's Picnic Pavilion, or choose chicken on Tuesday, all for just $20, including your game ticket. And new on Monday, it's pizza, beer, and pinball all night long. Then on Wednesdays, it's Hatfield hot dogs for just $1 each with 2-for-1 burgers on Thursdays. Call 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more details.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
The night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
There's our national anthem this evening at Clipper Magazine Stadium. God Bless America preceding that. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the New Britain Bees in the second game of a 4-game series. The Barnstormers dropped last night 4-2 in the series opener. Left-hander Luis Gonzalez on the hill tonight for the Barnstormers. Now, it'll be interesting to see Gonzalez approach here tonight. When he pitched last Thursday against Long Island, he was tentative the first couple of innings, but effective. And then once he was given the lead, he just came out and attacked. And once he started attacking, he was unhittable. Gave up just one base hit. That was a leadoff double to Matt Wessinger in the 5th inning. He walked 2 the first 2 innings and only 1 for the remainder of the night. Truly a spectacular outing for Gonzalez in his 9-2 victory, as it turned out, over Long Island last week. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run in 8 innings of work. Tonight he has a defense behind him that is the same we saw last night. Josh Bell at third. The shortstop is Dean Wilson. Kevin Aarons at second. Casey Hobson is at first. Trayvon Robinson will be in left field once again. Caleb Gindel is in center. Sean Halton with the start in right. Mike McDade is doing the catching. Our umpires this evening, Derek Moshe is behind the plate. Nate Caldwell is at first base. And Brian DeBrouwer is handling all the chores over on the third base side. James Skelton the lead off tonight for the New Britain Bees. Skelton at 259 with 10 home runs and 39 driven in on the season. Skelton has walked 79 times. If he walks tonight, he will reach 80 for the third time in his professional career. He has been an outstanding player and leadoff batter at times during his tenure here in the Atlantic League. Here's the motion, the pitch, and Gonzalez is outside with his first offering. Ball 1 and no strikes, the count on Skelton. The left-hander comes back and nails the outside corner, says Moshe. Gonzalez from Puerto Rico. Santurce, went to high school in Florida. Here's the motion, 1-1 pitch, and the fastball down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike on Skelton. If you didn't hear the pregame interview that I did with Luis while we were in Sugar Land, he is very good friends, not related to, but very good friends with Danny Gonzalez. Line drive center field, and Skelton does leading off the ball game what only one Duck could do in 8 innings the other night, and that's get a base hit. Skelton is on with the leadoff single. That brings on the left fielder Greg Golson, 287 for Greg with a couple of home runs and 31 driven in. But they grew up together, Luis Gonzalez and Danny Gonzalez. They're the same age. They went through high school together, and they worked together during the winter. Danny is the hitting coach for the Winter League team on which Luis plays. A great connection to a great Barnstormer player of the past. First pitch strike, floating back to the inside corner. It is 0-1 on Golson. I think Luis probably knew where I was going when I started the question. And I mentioned Danny's name, and it made him very happy. Ball is outside. It is 1-1 to Golson. For those who are newer Barnstormers fans, Danny Gonzalez was the Barnstormers shortstop a lot of the time, not exclusively, but a lot of the time, our first 4 years. Bunt toward third. Up with his bell. He read the situation perfectly, and he will gun down Golson. That'll be a sacrifice. The out 5-3. Skelton ahead to second base with 1 out. Jovan Rosa, the third baseman, will come in. Rosa batting .294 with 12 home runs and 58 driven in. Just underway tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Stormers and the Bees. Rosa singled home a run last night, 1 for 5 total. Right-hander against the lefty Luis Gonzalez, whom he has not faced previously. First pitch fastball is a strike, 0-1. At least not here. During their travels throughout baseball, there may be a connection. Gonzalez had not pitched in the U.S. for 5 years. He was over in Asia, starting with Japan in 11. He was teammates there with Hito Fujie, in fact. Check swing, he went too far, did Rosa. And it is quickly 0-2. Skelton leading off second base with 1 out in the inning. He went to Taiwan and Korea after that, and then took care of his own mother for a while. A little bit inside on the fastball. I thought they ruled that second pitch a strike. The scoreboard reads 2-1. We haven't seen Derek Moshe correct it. So I guess we'll go with it. Craig Maddox, the left-handed batting DH, waits on deck. Skelton with the lead from second, and a good size lead. The pitch is fouled away. Jovan Rosa batting at 2-2.
Make sure yours is Hostetler Insurance at 293-7100.
Stan Clyburn coaching over at third. His identical twin Stu, the pitching coach for the AAA Rochester Red Wings, is here tonight. Haven't had a chance to catch up with Stu. Ground ball left side. Flagged by Bell. He'll look the runner back. Throw to first base past Hobson. And this is going to put runners at second and third for the New Britain Bees. Bell with a routine ground ball, and he is generally deadly accurate with his throws across the infield, but this one was low and toward right field. Casey Hobson stretched out, tried to save it. The ball skipped on by. Skelton was on his way back into second base when the throw was made. He can only advance to third. Rosa up to second on the bad throw, as the Barnstormers are guilty of their fourth error in the series. And it really puts Gonzalez in a bind here in the first inning. Second and third now with one out instead of having runners at, or a lone runner at second base with two gone. Maddox, a 300 batter, digs in, and he takes ball one up. It is 1-0. The Barnstormers having a rough series at home defensively. Inexplicable, except to say that it just happens sometimes. High pop fly out to left. Robinson started back on it, now coming in. Tagging off third is Skelton. Throw to the plate, bounces high, and no chance to get the runner. Skelton is home on the sacrifice fly by Maddox. Ball didn't seem all that well hit off the bat. Robinson headed back and then came in to get everything behind the throw. He made a good throw, but there was not much of a chance to get Skelton to begin with, and then the ball hit and bounced up on McDade, and at that point, forget it. Rosa still at second with two down. It makes the run unearned. Only one of the four runs off Justin Jackson last night was an earned run, and this one set up by the low throw from the third baseman Bell. Cole Garner steps in. The Gonzalez pitch almost hits him. Fastball running inside. Ball one, no strikes. And now they have decided to put Garner on
Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 14.
and face Michael Kraus. That's an interesting call in the first inning. Kraus will step in, hitting for the better average. He doesn't have the power that Garner does. 293, 9 home runs, and 61 knocked in. The pitch, ground ball, left side into the hole. Backhanded stop by Wilson. He'll go to second and get the force out on Garner. Once again, a nice play by Dean Wilson. He's getting better and better on the defensive side. Very fine shortstop. One run on one hit, one error. Two men stranded here in the top half of the first inning. We're at the end of a half. New Britain out to the early lead. It is 1-0 Bees.
We are going to take these three numbers back to the downfield, and we're going to put them in the right order. 1, 2, 3.
Once again, thank you, Lancaster. With your support, we are once again the #1 dealer in our district, according to a recent Mitsubishi report. Hi, this is Richard Bennett, co-owner of Lancaster Mitsubishi. To continue our success through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely zero money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve.
Number
Right-hander Kyle Simon makes his 4th start against the Barnstormers this year. He is 2-1 in the first 3, and a little coincidence for the 3rd time out of his 4 starts, he is pitching on the 7th of the month. He lost to Lancaster May 7, beat Lancaster on August 7, and here on September 7th, he makes his 4th start against his former ball club. First pitch to Caleb Gindel across for a strike. It is 0-1. Gindel batting .299 with 10 home runs, 70 driven in. Simon loves to work quickly. He comes right back, a ball low. It is 1-1. 6'6" Californian is 6-5 on the year with a 2.87 ERA. Here's the 1-1 on Gindel. It's upstairs, ball 2 and a strike. He's thrown 100 1/3 innings. 87 hits, 40 runs, 30 earned. He's walked only 18 and struck out 57. Missing outside to Gindel, and Caleb gets ahead, 3 balls and a strike. Simon spent 3 weeks on the shelf. The Gindel 3-1 pitch fouled away, and came back last Friday and threw 3 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball against Long Island in a limited start. Here comes the payoff to Gindel, and Caleb gets ball 4 off the outside corner. The Barnstormers have their leadoff man on base. Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder, stepping in. Robinson, 246 with 12 homers and 39 runs batted in. And perhaps Simon is a little bit hesitant to cut it loose, but having watched Kyle last year and 3 starts this year, didn't quite look like himself on that first at bat. Gindel picking up the leadoff walk, and now a pickoff throw right away over to first, and Caleb dives back in. Kyle Simon, when he is on, is incredibly effective. He's thrown a complete game shutout against Somerset this year. Here's the pitch to Robinson. Chopper toward the middle, base hit center field. Gindel is going to turn second and hold on as the ball is gathered in by Michael Kraus. Lancaster with 2 runners already aboard here in the bottom half of the first inning. And the man who would be the player of the year if the year started July 1st here in the Atlantic League, and that is Casey Hobson. His overall number is .323 with 21 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Last 57 games for KC. He's hit .352 with 19 home runs. Here is the pitch. Hobson goes for it and pops it up foul. This will get out of play down the left field line. Jovan Rosa, the third baseman, giving chase. 1 strike, the count to Hobson. Josh Bell on deck. The Barnstormers looking to produce out of this first inning. Gindel at second, Robinson the runner at first base. Hobson has been a terrific first inning hitter since he got here. The 0-1 pitch bends over at the knees, and a second strike to KC. Simon making a terrific pitch there at 0-1. Simon backing off for a split second. Hobson backing out. It's 0-2. Here's the motion and the pitch. That knocks KC back off the plate. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. A walk and a bouncing single up the middle. And the Barnstormers are very much in business here on the bottom of the first, down by a run. Here comes the 1-2. Inside and low. Hobson working the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Simon, 4th round pick for the Baltimore Orioles 5 years ago out of the University of Arizona. Also pitched in the Philly farm system. 2-2, Hobson just stays alive. He nicks it foul. Ball rolling toward the on-deck circle and Josh Bell, but it didn't even have enough on it to get to him. He has to track it down. 2-2, the count to Casey Hobson. Lancaster looking to get the 1 run back and more here in the bottom of inning 1. Simon ready to go, 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit on the right side. Fumbled for a moment by Carrillo, so he'll lose the double play. He gets the force out at second still on Robinson. Hobson's safe at first on the fielder's choice, and it brings on Bell with runners at first and third and 1 out. First inning last night, New Britain had fielding problems. 2 errors in the first, leading to the Barnstormers' unearned run off of Nate Rowe. No error charged on that play because you cannot assume the double play, but they should have had one. And Carrillo did not come up with the ground ball cleanly. Bell batting with men at the corners. A swing and a foul ball to the left. It is 0-1. Josh Bell, club leader with 78 runs batted in on the season. And he's done very well in these situations. He has driven in the runner from third base with fewer than 2 outs 68% of the time. That is above average. 0-1 to him, and to Bell inside. The count levels at 1 apiece. Sean Halton, the right-handed batting right fielder, waits on deck. And Simon beginning to get his velocity. Here's the 1-1 to Bell, swing and a miss. And Kyle Simon suddenly looking like Kyle Simon. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Bell. Simon is a ground ball pitcher. Here's the delivery. Bell fouls it away. Still 1-2. Comes from that 3/4 delivery. This Kyle Simon. He pitches a lot like Joe Gardner does. I would say Gardner's probably the harder thrower of the two, but there are a lot of similarities. Inside to Bell, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gindel at third, Hobson the runner at first. Bell has to jump back out of the way, and it's 3-2. Awfully tempting to put Casey Hobson in motion here. Try and stay out of the double play. 3-2 on Bell. He does go. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and missed, and the Barnstormers are in trouble. Hobson getting in a rundown. Did the man cross the plate first? He did. That run is going to count. Caleb Gindel stomped on the plate before the tag was applied on Casey Hobson, and the Barnstormers will get that run on the board. Bell strikes out, but then Hobson pulls up short at second base, gets caught in a rundown. That's not a force. And Gindel got the foot down on the plate before the tag was applied. It was close, razor thin, but for the Barnstormers, it will be 1 run on 1 hit with no errors, nobody left on base. Applaud Casey Hobson for heads-up base running right there. And at the end of an inning, we are tied at 1.
Before the game, Coach Bob confirms he has enough players at baseline.
When the alarm goes off, the rush is on. And then you step into your Lexus ES. Now that's better. Exquisitely crafted details and exceptional comforts surround you. Before you know it, it's back to the grind. And not a moment too soon. A moment just for you. It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. With innovative technology and refined styling, go ahead, spoil yourself. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
After church or before a Sunday ball game, drop by the Federal Tap House in Lancaster for their elegant Sunday brunch. Their brunch menu has something for everyone, which includes options such as stuffed French toast, Tap House Benedict's over burgers, crab cakes or short ribs, breakfast burritos, and huevos rancheros, not to mention select items off of their already great menu, which include their wood-fired pizzas. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, or at their other location on 2nd Street in Harrisburg. Served from 10:30 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Here's John Griffin leading off the top of the second inning. He gets ball 1 inside from Luis Gonzalez. It is 1-0. It's a quirky 1-1 ball game through an inning. Gonzalez locates the outside corner, and Griffin 1-1 the count. John Griffin at .276, 8 home runs. He has driven in 59, 1 for 3 with an RBI last night. He flared a base hit into right center field, knocking in one of the 2 New Britain runs in the 6th. 1-1 delivery, low and getting away from Mike McDade. Ball 2 and a strike. an unearned run in the top of the first inning, set up by Josh Bell's bad throw, and then an earned run on some base path trickery by the Barnstormers in the bottom of the inning. Ball 3 inside and low to Griffin. It is 3-1. Bell struck out. Hobson was caught dead to rights and pulled up. And that was the best thing he could have done. Gindel broke for the plate, and it was close, but Gindel's foot was down first. Ground ball to Bell. He bobbles, comes up, throws, and nearly pulls Hobson off the bag. Hobson able to stretch into foul territory to handle it. Griffin's retired, 1 out. Second baseman Steve Carrillo comes to the plate. Carrillo is batting .245 with a pair of home runs and 16 knocked in. One out, bases cleared. Gonzalez has done everything correctly except giving up the leadoff single to James Skelton in the first inning. Fouled away. It is 0-1 on Carrillo. He has retired every batter that he's pitched to since then, with, just like the last start, everybody putting the ball in play. Left-hander ready to go to Carrillo, a second strike. It's 0-2. Steve Carrillo, as you might be able to tell, is the K-man here this evening. Barnstormers in the Military Wednesday jerseys. Gonzalez delivers inside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Steve Carrillo. Those will be auctioned off next Wednesday. Final game of the regular season here at home against the York Revolution. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Got him, a swing and a miss and a pitch away. Carrillo is gone on strikes. The first punch out of the night for Luis Gonzalez, and his first since the second inning in his last start. Jake McGuigan, the shortstop, will come to the plate. .241 hitter with 3 home runs and 28 runs batted in. McGuigan 0 for 4 in last night's contest. Justin Jackson didn't pitch as well as he had the last 2 starts, but still not a bad outing. Popped up near the pitcher's mound. Hobson signaling for it. Back of the mound, he makes the catch. McGuigan is retired. Gonzalez sets the side down in order on 10 pitches. That's the Luis Gonzalez we saw last Thursday here. We're through an inning and a half, tied at 1.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown is the place where baseball legends live forever. It's where the exciting moments of today stand along the iconic tales of the past. With new exhibits and artifacts telling incredible stories, the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a must-see destination for fans of all ages. Baseball in Cooperstown. Oh my! Plan your visit today. Check out baseballhall.org.
For the Barnstormers in the second, it will be Sean Halton, Blake Galen, and Kevin Ahrens. Halton to lead it off. He's down to .290 with 20 home runs and 62 driven in. Halton with the injury to his leg and very much slowed down here down the stretch. He's only had one extra base hit since August the 18th. Here's the motion by Kyle Simon. First pitch reaching the outside corner from that 3/4 angle. It's wide of the plate by the time Skelton handles it, but it got the front corner. Simon comes back. That's sliced to right and foul into the first section of seats down there. Section 1. Halton bats 0-2. Simon was able to recover in the first inning after walking Gindel and giving up the base hit to Trayvon Robinson. The delivery down and away made Halton think close enough. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the right-handed batting right fielder, and the pitch, breaking ball, hit off the bat handle and blooped the second. Carrillo racing in to make the catch. 1 out. Blake Galen will step in. Halton got jammed horribly by that Simon pitch, and it almost didn't get to Carrillo on the fly. Carrillo froze for a second, came racing in to make the catch almost to the infield grass on a ball that wasn't hit very high. If that thing lands, it could have spun almost anywhere the way it was hit. Carrillo had to get to it on the fly. 1 out, Blake Galen stepping in. Kyle Simon's pitch stays outside. It is 1-0. Galen at .283 with 3 home runs. He has driven in 16. Simon's next delivery is inside and low. Make it 2-0 to Blake. Our pregame guest tonight, and certainly hope you enjoyed our chat with Blake. One of the great players and great people who have come through here in our 12 seasons. High pop up to shortstop as Simon got him leaning. Jake McGuigan will signal for it. He makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down in the lower half of the second inning. Kevin Ahrens, the second baseman, will come in. Ahrens at .284 with 12 home runs and 60 runs batted in. Well, any doubts that I or anyone else might have had about Kyle Simon and the way he looked at the outset of this ball game would be erased. He has gotten locked in now. 4 batters in a row retired. Here's the pitch to Ahrens. Good for a strike. It is 0-1. Simon is the type of pitcher that can be very tough on the Barnstormers, who love to bash. 0-1. Ahrens takes a pitch outside and low into the dirt. It is a ball and a strike, because you've got to build an offense against Kyle largely with singles. There are some nights he'll get the ball up, and there's a pitch above the strike zone, 2-1. But he can get into a rhythm where he gets a tremendous number of ground balls. And the Barnstormers, in the 3 previous matchups against Simon, have just 1 double and 1 home run in 21 1/3 innings. Swing and a miss by Ahrens. It is 2-2. So this is a guy you've got to think about changing your approach. He doesn't strike out many. 2-2. Ahrens drives a foul off to the right and out of play. Now you got to think about things like low line drives to the opposite field. Simon has had an excellent year. Kevin Ahrens batting 2-2. Simon to the plate. It's looped foul off to the right again, giving Chase Griffin, but it'll have no play. We continue at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a 1-1 ball game, bottom half of the second inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Peckway Valley night, and a good turnout for a September Wednesday. To Ahrens, here's the 2-2. Driven to center field. Krause will fade back, but he has a play, reaching up to make the catch. The Barnstormers go out in 1-2-3 fashion in their half of the second inning. And through 2 here tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium, the Barnstormers and the Bees are locked in a 1-1 battle.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor. Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com? Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price. Half price? Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Luis Gonzalez will face the top of the order in the third inning for the New Britain Bees. James Skelton leading off. Skelton with the only base hit of the night. For New Britain, Trayvon Robinson has Lancaster's lone base hit. Defense will play Skelton straight away. That's what he did. He lined a single straight away, leading off the ball game, eventually scoring an unearned run on a sac fly. Gonzalez missing low. It is ball one and no strikes. Luis back in his windup over the top and a strike at the knees. Skelton bats at 1-1. Doubleheader baseball going on tonight at Long Island, and Bridgeport leads the opener 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth inning. To Skelton 1-1, swing and a miss. It is 1-2. Sugarland is up 3-1 over Somerset in the fourth. Southern Maryland and York knotted at 3 in the fourth inning. James Skelton awaits the 1-2. Gonzalez will bring it home and deal low. 2-2 the count. 1-1 here in the third. Here's the wind, the pitch. Skelton laces a foul into the seats over on the third base side. So we will do it all again. First pitch thrown by Gonzalez. The windup and a 2-2 up and in. This is what Skelton does. He'll wear you down. He does not swing at pitches out of the zone. Payoff pitch is coming to the lefty batting catcher, and the delivery rifled into right center field, a base hit. Halton will get over and pinch it off in the alley and hold Skelton to one base. James Skelton is on Luis Gonzalez. Nobody else is. Hit number 2 for Skelton and his ball club here tonight. They have to deal with James Skelton on the bases once again. Greg Golson, the batter. Golson advanced Skelton with a sacrifice bunt over to third back in the first inning. He simply bunted the ball too hard, as we saw Cole Garner do in a similar situation last night. But in both cases, they advanced the runner. Ball is inside 1-0. Well, Garner actually didn't. Garner, in his case, forced a guy at second. Ball 1-0 to Greg Golson, another one-time Barnstormer. 4 in the starting lineup, 1 on the hill for Stan Clyburn's ball club. Ball 2 is outside, 2-0. Golson, Garner, and Skelton all worked with Stan the year he was here. Ball 3 now is outside to Golson, and Gonzalez in early trouble in the top of the third inning. Runner on with nobody out. Greg Golson batting at 3 balls and no strikes. Right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. Waiting the pitch, and strike 1. Finds its way to the outside part of the plate, outer third. 3-1. Gonzalez has missed with almost half his pitches here tonight. Golson up there, 3-1. Here's the offering. Golson pops a foul out of play. Gonzalez beginning to rally in this third inning mini jam at this point, but nobody out. With Skelton aboard, my guess is that Skelton's running here. I definitely think that's the better option for the Bees. The lead off first base, Skelton goes. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. McDade with the throw, the tag at second, not in time. Skelton still able to steal his 16th of the year. He's in scoring position now with one out as Golson fans. Jovan Rosa, for the second straight time, will step in with the runner at second base and one out. Got some showers out to our west. They're not expected to get here. Maybe overnight. Here is the pitch, way inside, knocking Rosa back off the plate. It is 1-0. Looks like they're sliding almost due south. One ball, no strikes, the count to Rosa. A look back at Skelton. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball. It is 1-1. Gonzalez does a very nice job moving the ball around and working in his assortment of pitches. It's tough to get locked in against him. A ball and a strike. Maddox, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Here comes the 1-1, and time is called just before Gonzalez cuts it loose, and he aborted. Never like to see that. It just all depends on how you're trained from little on. One pitch on the way. Rosa swings over the top. Gonzalez has him at 1-2. He does have a split in his arsenal. The infielders are back, especially on the left side. Dean Wilson's on the grass. Rosa is not fast. If you're the Barnstormers, you want to keep the ball from getting through the infield. 1-2, got him. Swing and a miss. That pitch was in the dirt. Rosa becomes the third strikeout victim for Luis Gonzalez on the night, the second in a row. And now Craig Maddox will step in. Gonzalez is having a lot more success against right-handed batters tonight. The right-handed hitters do not have a base hit off of him, no success at all. The left-handed batters, well, Skelton's 2 for 2. Maddox with the sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Craig Maddox trying to pick up his second RBI of the night. The pitch, swing and a miss. It is 0-1. Tied at 1 here in the third inning between Luis Gonzalez and Kyle Simon. And if these guys are on, it may stay tied at 1 for a while. Runner at second, 2 away. Gonzalez to the set, the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss again. He's got Maddox where he wants him. No balls and 2 strikes. New Britain here again tomorrow night. Final game of this series. Lancaster will send Joe Gardner to the hill against Mike Lee, another one-time Barnstormer. Here comes the 0-2. Maddox, slow bouncer on the right side. Tough play. Charging it, the second baseman, and Aarons will not get him with the quick flip. Infield single, bleeder hit for Maddox, and Cole Garner steps in with runners at first and third, and 2 outs. Garner reached on an intentional walk after ball 1 back in the first inning. another squirter base hit off the Barnstormers in a key situation this year. It's been an epidemic. First and third with 2 men gone. Garner with a chance to stretch out, or I should say give New Britain another lead. To the plate, line drive, diving catch, Dean Wilson. He timed it perfectly, and that will end the inning. So a soft hit is followed by a loud out. They neutralize each other. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. Dean Wilson gets us to the bottom half of the 3rd inning in a 1-1 tie.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot. Woo-hoo-hoo! I won! So if you can't wait to win, then don't wait to play. Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery for a chance to win up to $1 million on the spot. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
It's nice out and you just want to relax after a day at work. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great idea. For Monday through Thursday home games, the Barnstormers have super dinner and a ball game deals at Clipper Magazine Stadium. On Monday, join us for an all-you-can-eat pork barbecue dinner in the Hess's Picnic Pavilion, or choose chicken on Tuesday, all for just $20, including your game ticket. And new on Monday, it's pizza, beer, and pinball all night long. Then on Wednesdays, it's Hatfield hot dogs for just $1 each, with 2-for-1 burgers on Thursdays. Call 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more details.
Lancaster will send Mike McDade, Dean Wilson, and Caleb Gindel to the plate against Kyle Simon in the 3rd inning. McDade will step in. He's batting .276, 15 home runs, 51 batted in. And for Mike, 5 extra base hits in his last 4 contests, 4 doubles and a home run. He had 2 hits, including a double last night. The double was hit so hard to right center field, it got by Michael Krause before he could move. Fouled away here to the left side. Simon has the Barnstormers pretty much off balance. No balls and a strike on the switch-hitting McDade. He has 17 doubles on the year. Simon's 0-1, popped up. Again, the Barnstormers off balance. Jake McWiggin calling for it. The shortstop puts it away. That's the 6th man in a row retired by Simon after giving up a walk and a single to start off the night. Dean Wilson will step in. Wilson batting .141 with 8 runs driven in. She had an unbelievable number of chances batting in the 8 or 9 spot in the order with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs, and he has driven in runs on 6 of those. Pitch to him here, across for a strike from Simon. It is 0-1. Right-hander into the motion. Wilson with a sharply hit foul into the first base seat. Simon's got him 0-2. Simon, I guess, may not throw quite hard enough to tantalize the scouts coming through. But boy, is he effective. Fouled away, no balls and 2 strikes. And he's not all that old. High bouncer left side. McWiggin will play it from shortstop. Pour it across the diamond, getting Wilson by a step. 2 outs here in the 3rd, bringing Gindel back around. Kyle Simon from Long Beach, just turned 26. A chance for the ERA title in the Atlantic League this season for Kyle Simon. He needs 11 2/3 innings before the season ends. As long as he's healthy, that shouldn't be a problem. Called strength to Gindel, it's 0-1. 2 2/3 already logged tonight. He should get a couple more starts. Gindel looks at ball one down low. Caleb walked and scored back in the first inning. That pitch came in at 91. 1-1. Caleb with a sharply hit ground ball, staggering a bit, is Carrillo at second, but he comes up and fires on to get Gindel. It's a 9-pitch inning for Kyle Simon, who has retired 8 consecutive batters. We complete the third inning tonight. It is still Lancaster 1, New Britain 1.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
For the New Britain Bees tonight, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. 4 men have been left on base. The Barnstormers a run on 1 hit with 1 error, and nobody left on base. Sacrifice fly producing the New Britain run, which was unearned, and a close base running play scoring the run for Lancaster. Smash, 1 hop to Wilson at short. He will fire on to get Michael Kraus, 6-3. 1 pitch, 1 away, top of the 4th inning. Bringing on the first baseman, John Griffin. Griffin retired 5-3, his first time up. On the Major League scoreboard, a rain delay in Washington. The Nationals scheduled to face the Atlanta Braves tonight. Remember I talked about those rains going by us to the south? Well, they have hit the D.C. area tonight. Miami leads the Phils 2-0. They're in the top half of the 3rd. Pitch to Griffin is low, ball 1, no strikes. St. Louis and the Pirates knotted at 2 through an inning and a half. Cubs are at Milwaukee, San Francisco at Colorado, Boston at San Diego, Arizona at LA later, and the Mets this afternoon beat Cincinnati 6-3. Gonzalez misses again, too low to Griffin. 2 balls and no strikes. Mets hanging in the wild card race. Tampa Bay slipped past the Orioles today, 7-6. Fouled away by Griffin, 2 balls and a strike. Chicago over Detroit, 7-4.
Broken window, and that means more work for your insurance company. Make sure yours is Hostetler Insurance.
Tonight, Oakland has finished off LA in a late afternoon game, 4-1. Toronto and the Yankees no score. Ball 3 to Griffin. That one didn't get to the plate on the fly. Didn't make it to the batter's box. Cleveland up 1-0 over Houston in the bottom of the 2nd. Kansas City visits Minnesota. Texas is at Seattle later. Here we're in a 1-1 ball game in the 4th inning. 1 out, nobody on, but a 3-ball, 1-strike count to John Griffin. The pitch fouled away. 3-2. Left-hander Luis Gonzalez is making his 2nd start for the Barnstormers, a man who won 9 and lost 4 for the Bridgeport Bluefish 6 years ago. 3-2 payoff pitch. He walked him. Ball 4 was outside. That's the second walk given up by Gonzalez in the ball game, but the first was intentional. Steve Carrillo to the plate. Carrillo a strikeout victim back in the second.
Second baseman Steve Carrillo, your Schweiner brothers, K-man of the game.
Infield will set up double play depth. Runner on with 1 out. And the delivery is hit in the air. Right field hit fairly well. Playable. Halton back to the track to make the catch. A long throw in behind Griffin, who gets back. 2 outs with the runner at first as Carrillo flies to deep right. Jake McGuigan, the shortstop, will step in. McGuigan popped out to Casey Hobson behind the pitcher's mound back in the second inning. A couple pop-up storms have formed in the neighborhood. They don't really seem to think anything's going to get in here, but they could. 2 outs with the runner on. Strike 1 on McGuigan. If it rains, it doesn't look like it would rain long. Griffin inches off first base. He has not successfully stolen a bag all year. Popped up foul by McGuigan. Gonzalez out ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Robinson, Hobson, and Bell will step in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Very strong pitching matchup tonight with Gonzalez against Simon. Here's the 0-2, pulled foul on the ground and 1 hop into the New Britain dugout. They'll have to cover up over there. 2 strikes still on McGuigan. You talk about Kyle Simon and his chance to win the Atlantic League ERA title this season. He has to stay ahead of Roy Merritt, who finished at 2.99 before going to the Dodgers organization. Griffin goes, the pitch is popped up right near first base. Hobson behind the bag, fair ground, makes the catch. Pair of 3s for Jake McGuigan in the game. Luis Gonzalez gets through the 4th inning, surviving the 1-out walk. 1 man left on for the New Britain Bees through 3.5 tonight. Lancaster and New Britain still in the 1-1 deadlock.
Ranger.
Once again, thank you, Lancaster. With your support, we are once again the #1 dealer in our district, according to a recent Mitsubishi report. Hi, this is Richard Bennett, co-owner of Lancaster Mitsubishi. To continue our success through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely 0 money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve.
Trayvon Robinson, Casey Hobson, and Josh Bell are going to step in the 4th inning. Robinson has Lancaster's lone base hit of the game, a chopper up the middle in the 1st inning. It helped to build the Lancaster run. We're still in that 1-1 tie that's been there all the way since the 1st. New Britain has actually had a chance or 2 to score since then. The Barnstormers have been completely on lockdown against Kyle Simon. He's retired 8 in a row. To Robinson inside, ball 1 and no strikes, and out of the 8, only 1 has gotten the ball to the outfield. That was a harmless fly out for Kevin Aarons back in the 2nd inning. Robinson digging in. He's batted safely in 11 out of his last 12 starts. Pulls it foul on the ground past Daisuke. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyle Simon, the quintessential sinker-slider type pitcher. One Robinson laces a foul sharply off of the top of the stadium over on the third base side. That one hit sharply right near where the guide wire for the backstop hooks in to the upper level. And that came right back down onto the field. Robinson takes the 1-2 and loops a foul on the third base side now. He will stay in against Kyle Simon. Robinson has just been a very steady player as a Barnstormer. There's been nothing flashy whatsoever about Trayvon since he's been here. He's hit some home runs, he's stolen some bases, but he's been very solid. Now he takes strike 3 on the inside corner. Simon with his second strikeout of the evening. 1 out, Casey Hobson will come to the plate. Hobson reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Steve Carrillo muffed a chance to turn a double play. He had a ground ball from Hobson hit right at him with runners at first and second and nobody out. And rain is starting to come down at the ballpark. It is just a little bit of a sprinkle right now. One our score, lower half of the 4th inning. Simon to Hobson, it's over but low, ball 1 and no strikes. But in any event, Carrillo bobbled the ground ball by Hobson initially. Still got the force out at second. And if he turns that double play, the Barnstormers are not on the board. Another ground ball right at Carrillo. He'll throw out Hobson, 2 away. He'll bring on Josh Bell, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Simon is on a roll, and he can pitch like this. And the only thing you can do is try to take Kyle up the middle. Robinson successfully did that back in the first inning. Here's the pitch to Bell. Chopper towards second base. Easy out. Carrillo to Griffin, and the Barnstormers are gone on 8 pitches here in the 4th inning, and many of those were foul balls off the bat of Trayvon Robinson. At the end of 4, the score remains Lancaster 1, New Britain 1.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
To see if the Lexus NX is right for you, eliminate one word from each of the following: style or substance, utility or agility, capable or captivating. Can't decide? Fortunately, this is the luxury crossover that goes beyond utility, meaning the only word you have to eliminate is or. The Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once driven, there's no going back. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Well, it has started to rain heavily here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and they're calling for the tarp. 4 innings logged tonight. The Barnstormers and the New Britain Bees tied at 1. This pop-up shower formed just east of the Susquehanna, well to our north, and it has slid down this way. So, who knows? It doesn't look like much of a cell, but it has found its way to the ballpark. It's not raining terribly hard, but hard enough for the umpiring crew to signal for the grounds crew to come on out. We are not yet at an official game. It is 1-1 through 4 innings. New Britain very much in the fight for a playoff spot. The Barnstormers aren't eliminated yet, but the picture obviously is not what you would like. Down 6 games with 13 to go. Bridgeport has defeated Long Island 3-2 in the first game of their doubleheader. Sugarland and Somerset tied at 3 in the 6th. York leads Southern Maryland 4-3 in the 6th inning. And if you go by momentum right now, the first round of the playoffs would be Somerset against Long Island in the Liberty Division and New Britain against York in the Freedom Division. Not to take anything away from Sugarland, the Skeeters still have a 1.5 game lead over New Britain in the wild card race, but New Britain is the hottest team in the league and Sugarland is the coldest team in the league. So that 1.5 game differential could evaporate quickly. But right now, both teams in a tie ball game tonight. We're in a rain delay here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Barnstormers and Bees each scored in the first inning in a rather unusual fashion. A bad throw from Josh Bell set up a sacrifice fly from Craig Maddox. An unearned run scoring off of Luis Gonzalez. And then in the bottom of the inning, the Barnstormers got runners at first and second on a walk and a bouncing single up the middle. Casey Hobson grounded into a force play where if Steve Carrillo had picked the ball cleanly in the first place, they probably would have been able to turn 2. Then Casey Hobson was sent on a 3-2 pitch to Josh Bell. Bell struck out. Hobson was caught in a rundown, and just before he was tagged out, Caleb Gindel crossed the plate. The run counted. The Barnstormers and the Bees find themselves in this 1-1 deadlock, but now the tarp on the field. How will this change the picture for the ball game tonight? It depends largely on how long this rain delay might last here. It is not raining all that hard at the moment. In fact, the grounds crew is staying out there. We may see the tarp come off within 5 minutes if the rain does not pick up again. But right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to pot ourselves down. Stay tuned here to the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. We should have more baseball here tonight, and I don't imagine it's going to be very long. Well, welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium as play will resume. I told you we wouldn't be out very long, and I didn't lie to you. We hit the top half of the fifth inning tonight. James Skelton will be followed by Greg Golson and Jovan Rosa, facing left-hander Luis Gonzalez in a 1-1 ball game. We are through 4 innings of competition here this evening. New Britain with a 500 record in the second half at 65-63 overall. And I mentioned this last night. Stan Clyburn should be considered for the Manager of the Year award in the Atlantic League. To me, it's between him and Mark Mason. But the difference, as I see it, is that York has largely stayed together all year. When they did lose a couple of guys, Isaias Tejeda and Telvin Nash, back-to-back, they got reinforcements right away from around the league. So Mason, while he has the best team in the league, the best overall record over in York, really hasn't had to deal with a tremendous amount of adversity this season. Stan Clyburn has had to put all of this together despite losing the bulk of his pitching staff. Over the course of the year, New Britain has been rated by major league organizations and Mexico as badly as the Barnstormers have been. So the fact that Stan has his team in competition for a playoff berth and right there in the race, he's got to be considered for Manager of the Year. In my humble opinion, anyway. There is James Skelton. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. He gets a pitch outside and low from Gonzalez, ball 1. Luis Gonzalez has handled everybody else tonight very well, except for Skelton. Here comes the 1-0. Skelton shows bunt, and he gets ball 2 just off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Skelton is like Blake Galen. They just don't go for pitches out of the zone. 2 balls and nothing. Gonzalez ready to go. That's got the corner. Make it 2-1. Skelton singled into center field in the first inning, to right center in the third, both on line drives. Here's the 2-1 pitch, bouncing ball, and that'll find its way into right field through the hole, and Skelton is 3 for 3. Leadoff man aboard in the 5th inning for the New Britain Bees. Greg Golson will come to the plate. We'll see how New Britain tries to move Skelton ahead here in the 5th inning. Golson bunted him along in the first, and in the third, Skelton stole second base on a swinging third strike by Golson. Leadoff man aboard, nobody out. We'll see if the Bees can be creative here. Gonzalez looking toward first. He'll come to the plate. Golson gets a ball inside and low, 1-0. The rain delay lasted about 15 minutes. It really shouldn't have been enough to disrupt the pitcher's rhythm. 1 ball, no strikes to Golson. Gonzalez would love to coax a double play ball here. He'll throw to first just to keep the base runner James Skelton honest. That throw was not in any way, shape, or form intended to pick the runner off, but it could set up a better move. Golson batting 1-0. Target is set by McDade. Gonzalez to the plate, swing and a miss. A healthy cut by Greg Golson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flag is stirring out in center. In retrospect, and the umpires probably know it too, they really shouldn't have called for the tarp there, but it looked like it was going to intensify. And just as it was to the point where you would have been thinking about putting the tarp on, and they started to put the tarp on, the rain began to let up. 2 balls and a strike with nobody out. Realistically, no harm done. 2 balls, 1 strike to Golson. Skelton stays put, and there's a fly ball lofted to left center. Easy play, Gindel Caleb to his right to make the catch. Golson fails to move Skelton ahead this time. One out. Here's Jovan Rosa, who has reached on a throwing error, and he has struck out. The right-handed batters without a hit tonight for New Britain against the left-hander Luis Gonzalez, but the left-handed batters are 4 for 4 with a sacrifice fly. Go figure. Throw to first base is high, but brought down by Hobson. Skelton back in standing. Skelton overslid second base last night, but the rule is you don't get a steal on it. He was thrown out stealing by McDade. He's not going to go here. Swing and a miss by Rosa. Gonzalez has the right-handed batting third baseman down a strike. Dean Wilson has the defensive play of the night for the Barnstormers. He saved a run back in the third inning. A diving catch against Garner. To Rosa, 0-1 pitch, popped up right side. Aarons and Hobson are there. Look out. They were getting in each other's way for a moment, but finally Hobson peels away, and Aarons is left to make the catch. 2 men down. Greg Maddox stepping in. Maddox with a sacrifice fly in the first inning and a dribbler base hit to the first base side of the mound in the third. Luis Gonzalez, 33 years of age. His second Barnstormers start, and fairly impressive in this one too. One-time LA Dodger farmhand. There's a pitch, fastball upstairs to Maddox. Ball 1, no strikes. Skelton still a runner at first. He'll hang tight, swinging a foul ball, ringing back off McDade. The count is 1-1. Barnstormers will have Halton, Galen, and Aarons stepping in the lower half of the fifth inning against Kyle Simon, who is not allowed a hard hit ball tonight. Two outs with a 1-1 count. The pitch popped up behind the plate. No chance for McDade. That's up to the upper level. Gonzalez has control of the at-bat. He has Maddox at a ball and 2 strikes. Greg Maddox, the native of Georgia. All-star in the Liberty division for Brett Jody. He got the play against his boss, Stan Clyburn, because Maddox, remember, is a player coach for the New Britain Bees. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the offering, high pop fly down the left field line. This could be interesting. The ball will curl foul low and head onto the hillside. Maddox still batting 1-2. A lot of the teams around the league have the player coaches. Sugarland, in theory, does, with Travis Scott and Jeff Dominguez. Lou Ford for Long Island, Maddox for New Britain. Jake Opitz, I think, was intended to be one, but he hasn't played all year. Popped up by Maddox. McDade sprinting back, will not have a play here either. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left on left battle here in the top of the 5th inning as New Britain tries to take its second lead of the ball game. Second baseman Aarons cheating toward the hole on the right side. Skelton being held by Hobson, and Gonzalez will deal over there. Bridgeport with the first game win over Long Island tonight moves back to within 2.5 of Somerset in the Liberty division. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, foul, out of play again as Maddox wastes another one. Bridgeport must win the second half. There is no chance for a wild card spot for Bridgeport. One ball, 2 strikes again to Maddox. Here's the pitch. Little tap and again foul. Boy, he has been up there a while. The count continues at 1-2. The 8th pitch coming. There have been 4 2-strike foul balls. Here comes the 1-2. Chopper toward the middle. Over goes Ahrens. He's got to get rid of it in a hurry, and it's not in time. Maddox with his second infield base hit of the game. Cole Garner will step in with runners at first and second and 2 outs. The ball chopped past the mound. A very close play at first, and an emphatic call by Nate Caldwell. Garner will step in. He has been walked intentionally, and he's lined to short on a diving play made by Dean Wilson. Much better chance now for New Britain to retake the lead here in the 5th inning. The pitch to Garner, swatted foul back into the screen. 0-1. Maddox did not hit one ball hard, fair or foul, on the entire at bat, but he battled and is rewarded with his second consecutive infield base hit. Both dribbled over there on the right side. 0-1 to Cole Garner. Gonzalez looking back, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of it. 0-2 to Garner. The left-handed batters stay perfect against Gonzalez. 5 for 5 with a sacrifice fly. The right-handed batters without a base hit, and Gonzalez trying to keep it that way. He has Garner trailing 0-2. Skelton off second, Maddox off first. The motion, the pitch, sharp ground ball, barely foul outside third. That one would have scored at least 1 and maybe 2. Still 2 strikes on Cole Garner, the Barnstormers Player of the Year back in 2014. He lost out on league MVP honors to Lou Ford. Had a tremendous season for Cole here on the championship club. 0-2. And the pitch is low. Garner stays away from it. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. .80 pitches now for Luis Gonzalez. 1-2 on Garner. The set and the pitch. He got him, a swing and a miss. Ball dropped out of the range of the swing again. Garner gone on strikes. The right-handers continue to flounder against Gonzalez. No runs, 2 hits with no errors. 2 men left on base. We are in the middle of the 5th inning now at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and nothing even close to being decided. Lancaster 1, New Britain 1.
Hi everyone, Adam Gocknauer here from Gocknauer Appliances, proud to be a sponsor yet again for our hometown Lancaster Barnstormers. We support them on the field and every one of you across Lancaster County with the very best appliances in the area. We are proud to be in our 67th year and 4 generations of family ownership, all to serve you and take care of all your appliance needs. Come see us at 5939 Main Street in East Petersburg or on our website at gocknauers.com.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
Luis Gonzalez and Kyle Simon continue to weave their magic here tonight. Each gave up a run in the first inning that, realistically, didn't deserve to give up. The run against Gonzalez unearned, and the run against Kyle Simon earned, but it could have been avoided with a clean play on a Hobson ground ball. Sean Halton, Blake Galen, and Kevin Ahrens will step to the plate against Simon, who has retired 11 consecutive Barnstormers after the first two of the game reached base. Halton popped up his first trip, pitched to him here, down and away, ball 1 and no strikes. The motion, and to Halton, towering fly ball to center. Michael Kraus coming on. The wind's swirling it a little bit, but he's there to make the catch. 12 in a row retired. Blake Galen will step in. Galen popped the short back in the second inning. Simon is on the night thrown only 54 pitches. Galen batting with 1 out, nobody on base. In this stretch of 12 straight outs, that was only the second ball to get to the outfield. To Galen, first pitch strike, it is 0-1. Simon has walked 1, that was Caleb Gindel to start the night. He has struck out 2. Allowed 1 base hit, Trayvon Robinson in the first inning. Slider at the knees, strike 2 to Galen. The kick and the pitch, swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout against Galen. Kyle Simon right now appears unhittable. He's mixing his pitches well. He is hitting his spots perfectly. Kevin Ahrens to the plate. Ahrens with a fly out back in the second inning.
The second baseman, Kevin Ahrens.
Mike McDade waiting on deck. I don't remember a hard hit foul ball by the Barnstormers in this game. Strike called on Ahrens. It's 0-1. The base hit was a bouncer up the middle. And Simon has been perfect since. Here's the 0-1 on Ahrens. Into the dirt and outside. Ball 1, strike 1. A 1-1 ball game, lower half of the 5th inning. Luis Gonzalez has pitched very well also, but he's had a bit more of a fight on his hands. Ahrens beats it into the dirt, foul over to the third base dugout to make it 1-2. Gonzalez has given up 5 hits and 2 walks. Again, one of those was intentional. And New Britain has left 7 runners on base here in the 5 innings. 1-2 coming to Ahrens. Fastball busted in high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Simon is just mixing his velocities, his spots. Chopper by Ahrens, the shortstop McGuigan coming over. He'll throw from second base. Ahrens is retired 6-3, 4th consecutive 1-2-3 inning for right-hander Kyle Simon. And at the end of 5 here tonight, the score, Lancaster 1, New Britain 1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Michael Krause, John Griffin, and Steve Carrillo, the trio that will step in against left-hander Luis Gonzalez here in the 6th inning. This has been a terrific pitching matchup here this evening. And Simon, who's only in his second start coming off an injury, hasn't really been pushed all that much, just 61 pitches officially through 5 innings. So he can go deeper into this ball game. He only threw 3 last time out after sitting for 3 weeks. Here is Michael Krause. He is 0 for 2 on the ground here tonight, both times slapping the ball at shortstop Dean Wilson. The corners play up, the guard against the bunt. The pitch to Krause right there from Gonzalez, strike 1. While Simon has thrown only 61 pitches, Gonzalez is up to 83. The 0-1 on Krause, upstairs, a ball and a strike. Not to say that Luis has been ineffective. He has just had a large number of 2-strike foul balls against him. 1 ball, 1 strike on Krause, and the pitch, over but low, make it 2-1. And Gonzalez has to know that he can't walk Krause. That is just deadly. 2-1. The windup by the left-hander, the pitch, lifted foul off to the right, out of play. We get to 2-2 on the big right-handed hitter from British Columbia, New Westminster, son of a former NFL player and longer-term CFL player. Ray Krause. 2-2 pitch is low. 3-2. Gonzalez into the wind. Here's the payoff, and he walks him. That could spell disaster here in the 6th inning. Krause is on first. Generally, that means Krause is going to be on second.
First baseman John Griffin.
The league leader in stolen bases with 55. John Griffin will come to the plate, and he will probably let Krause steal here at some point. .55 out of 65 is Michael Krause. Gonzalez guns a throw to first, and Krause is back in standing. Krause had stolen 10 and 11 tries before leaving the Barnstormers. He's 45 out of 54 with New Britain. There he goes on the first move. The pitch in the dirt, it wouldn't matter. Krause has his 56th of the year. And it's 1-0 to Griffin. Butch Hobson on his way out to the mound. And I think he's got to warn Gonzalez about the potential of Krause stealing third. 1-1 ball game here in the 6th inning. Action starts in the Lancaster bullpen. A right-hander is throwing. Gonzalez, and we've seen this before. We saw it with Justin Jackson last night. He's had trouble getting the leadoff batter. The leadoff man has reached in 4 of the 6 innings. 3 times it's been Skelton with base hits. And now he has put the most dangerous man in the league on the bases aboard. A walk and right away a stolen base. for Michael Krause, and you knew it was coming. Krause, it appeared from here, read Gonzalez's move, knew he was going to go to the plate, and took off before that throw was ever released. Krause bouncing off second. He's going to get a look from Gonzalez. And New Britain threatening to take the lead here in the 6th inning. Lancaster does have the action in the bullpen simply because Gonzalez has had to throw so many pitches in this game. 1-0, the count on John Griffin. Way inside is Gonzalez to make it 2-0. Luis has not pitched badly. He's gotten no support behind him. Involved in a 1-1 contest here in the 6th inning. John Griffin batting 2-0. The pitch, ground ball shortstop. Krause is going for third. The throw from Wilson gets him. Michael Krause, an ill-advised gamble. And for Griffin, safe on the fielder's choice, the out 6-5. The New Britain Bees cost themselves a base and a very fast runner here in the 6th inning. They don't just lose the base there, they lose a tremendous amount of speed. 1 out, Griffin the runner at first base. Stepping in is the second baseman Carrillo. He is 0 for 2. That might have been the ultimate result on the Griffin at bat. Fouled away by Carrillo. It is 0-1. You talk about a shot in the arm for Luis Gonzalez in this inning. Krause took off on the ground ball hit to his right as he took his lead. Dean Wilson fed Josh Bell perfectly. The 0-1 into the dirt for a ball. A ball and a strike on Carrillo. Jake McGuigan, the shortstop, waits on deck. Tie ball game in the top of the 6th inning, and Gonzalez with a much better opportunity to keep it that way. Krause took a gamble. He thought he could make it, maybe coax a bad throw out of the youngster Dean Wilson. One popped up right side. Hobson jogging in toward the plate into foul territory. He'll put that away. Carrillo is retired foul 3. Jake McGuigan stepping in with Griffin at first base and 2 outs.
Shortstop, Jake McGuigan.
Gonzalez working on pitching his way out of the jam here in the 6th inning. Fastball is in for a called strike. 0-1 on McGuigan. And Griffin ground ball definitely dialed the Bees backwards. 1 strike pitch, ground ball right side, flagged by Hobson. He's got to right himself and feed the pitcher. Gonzalez covering, he gets it there. Nice play by KC to end the inning. New Britain fails to score after Krause walks and steals second right away. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on. We're going to the bottom of the 6th tonight in a 1-1 tie.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot.
Woohoo! I won!
So if you can't wait to win, then don't wait to play. Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery for a chance to win up to $1 million on the spot. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here's Mike McDade to start off the bottom of the sixth against Kyle Simon, who has retired the last 14 Lancaster batters. First pitch is wide. Ball one. McDade popped the short back in the third inning. 1-1 our score. Simon into the motion. McDade, ground ball, second base. It's the matter of course. Up with it, Carrillo. He'll throw out McDade, one away. Dean Wilson will come to the plate. Wilson grounded to short his first time up. Simon has the Barnstormers either popping the ball up or beating it into the dirt. One or the other, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has squared the ball up tonight. It has not happened on a foul ball or a fair ball. He has struck out 3 to Wilson. He drops a bunt down, but too close to the mound. Simon to the third base side, fires on. He'll cut down Wilson. That's 2 gone here in the 6th inning, and 16 in a row for the New Britain right-hander. With 2 gone, Caleb Gindel will step in. Gindel walked and scored in the first inning and grounded out 4-3 back in the third. The only thing that the Barnstormers might be able to do here against Simon, the way he's pitching, is to guess correctly, and if they get the two-seamer, try and ground it the other way, especially the left-handed batters. Outside for a ball to Gindel, 1-0. If they guess incorrectly and get the slider, they're going to get badly jammed. Here's a 1-0. Gindel lofts this down the left field line. Golson, a long run, but he won't get there. It's onto the hill. Caleb Gindel batting at a ball and a strike. Trayvon Robinson is on deck. He has the only Lancaster hit of the game. Kyle Simon now has enough innings to be the league ERA leader. And he is, at the moment, holds that distinction. The strike taken by Gindel make it 1-2. He has kept the Barnstormers in this potent lineup completely and utterly off balance tonight. 1-2, line drive, up for it goes Carrillo. He makes the catch. That is the best swing the Barnstormers have gotten in against Kyle Simon the entire night. But it results in the 17th consecutive out for the right-hander. And now through 6 innings here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, we remain in the 1-1 deadlock.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
It's nice out and you just want to relax after a day at work. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great idea. For Monday through Thursday home games, the Barnstormers have super dinner and a ball game deals at Clipper Magazine Stadium. On Monday, join us for an all-you-can-eat pork barbecue dinner in the Hess's Picnic Pavilion, or choose chicken on Tuesday, all for just $20, including your game ticket. And new on Monday, it's pizza, beer, and pinball all night long. Then on Wednesdays, it's Hatfield hot dogs for just $1 each with 2-for-1 burgers on Thursdays. Call 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more details.
One run, 5 hits, no errors, and 8 left by the New Britain Bees tonight. A run, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left by the Barnstormers. James Skelton will lead off the 7th, and he'll lead off against Tanner Peters. 6'1" right-hander from Simi Valley, California, takes over for Luis Gonzalez here in the 7th. Peters ready to go. His first pitch to Skelton, a strike. It is 0-1. Skelton 3 for 3 off Gonzalez. Well, the fact that Skelton was leading off this inning and the fact that Gonzalez had reached 96 pitches as Butch Hobson make the move to the right-hander. Skelton with a swing and a foul ball back. Peters is deceptive. He's not a big guy, but he is one of the harder throwers on this ball club. 5-3 for the year with a 3.98 ERA. Much of that is a starter. 2 strikes, the count on Skelton. 3 for 3 with a stolen base and a run scored. McDade sets the target. Peters ready to go, and that's strike 3 called. Skelton knew it. There isn't anybody in this league except for maybe Blake Galen being his equal who has a better knowledge of what's a strike and what's a ball when it comes to the plate. Skelton just realized Tanner Peters had him beaten there. 1 out. Greg Golson comes to the plate. Golson is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. 7th inning of baseball in a 1-1 tie. Luis Gonzalez with his 2nd straight quality start. He really did absolutely nothing to damage our opinion of him whatsoever. Swing and a miss by Golson, a high inside fastball. It's 0-1. Gonzalez in ways pitched better tonight than he did against Long Island. Not by the numbers, but he had some hard hit outs last week in the 1-hitter for 8 innings. Tonight, some softer singles. Wasn't hit very hard at all. 0-1, swing and a miss by Golson. It's 5 strikes in a row from Tanner Peters here in the 7th inning. Five hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Gonzalez walked 3. One of those was intentional. And he struck out a total of 4 along the way tonight. Here's the pitch. Golson pulls a weak grounder foul to his dugout. Tanner Peters working ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Bases empty in the 7th. Simon will continue into the bottom of the 7th for New Britain. Nobody warming up in Stan Clyburn's bullpen. We did have a Stu Clyburn sighting earlier tonight. As a matter of fact, he is sitting just below my booth. Here's the 0-2 breaking ball. Chopper toward third, hustling in Bell. He gets a chest-high bounce. Perfect throw to cut down Golson. 5-3, 2 outs in the 7th. Jovan Rosa, the third baseman, coming in. Rosa 0 for 3. He reached back in the 1st inning on a throwing error by Bell. That set up the New Britain run here tonight. The Barnstormers run, again, scored on a base running play, heads-up base running by Casey Hobson in the 1st inning, as he was dead to rights on what would have been a strike him out, throw him out double steal, but he pulled up short of second base and gotten a run down, allowing Caleb Gindel to cross the plate very close, the tag, and Gindel getting the foot down, but he did, and the run scored. Swing and a miss by Rosa. It's 0-1 against Peters. Peters, in his couple of appearances out of the bullpen since coming back off the DL, has been fabulous. And he is again here tonight. The 0-1, outside and low. First ball he's thrown in 9 pitches. 1-1, the count to Rosa. Craig Maddox, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Lancaster will have Robinson, Hobson, and Bell in the bottom of the 7th inning. And usually with that trio in this ballpark, you would salivate, but nobody has gotten to Kyle Simon all night long. Strike 2 to the inside corner. Peters ahead of Rosa at 1-2. My question is Stu looking at pitchers that he can have in Rochester next year? They already had 2 of ours this season. 1-2, half swing, ground ball to third. Bell gobbles it up. Clean throw and a great inning for Tanner Peters here in the 7th. Nothing across. We're at the 7th inning stretch here in Lancaster with the score. The Barnstormers won and the New Britain Bees won. Bottom of the 7th inning, Trayvon Robinson leading off for the Barnstormers against Kyle Simon, who has largely been unsolvable here tonight. He has retired 17 consecutive Lancaster batters. Trayvon Robinson has the only base hit. He chopped the single up the middle back in the 1st inning. Simon did not look good the first batter or 2 tonight. Since then, he's just been unbelievable. To Robinson, first pitch strike on the outside corner. It is 0-1. Robinson struck out looking back in the 4th inning. Barnstormers looking to break the 1-1 deadlock, but first looking to get a runner on base. Robinson jammed, fouls it off. It is 0-2. Caleb Gindel lined out to second base back in the 6th inning. It wasn't a vicious line drive. Caleb was slightly off balance, but definitely the most solid contact the Barnstormers have made all night. To Robinson, 0-2, swung on and missed. A high inside fastball, and the 4th strikeout for Kyle Simon. 1 away. Casey Hobson coming to the plate. He has pulled 2 ground balls to the second baseman, Steve Carrillo. Lancaster with more action in the bullpen, and New Britain actually has a right-hander throwing. Simon might have been on a pitch limit tonight of 75 or 80, and he still hasn't gotten there in the 7th inning. Hobson digging in, Simon into the motion, the pitch down and away, ball 1 and no strikes. But if you want a demonstration how to pitch, Kyle Simon's giving it here tonight. The offering to Hobson, swinging a foul tip, it is 1-1. Simon has just hit his spots all night. 1-1. Hobson with a foul ball off to the left and out of play. It's 1-2. Even to the point when the Barnstormers look to go to the opposite field, they get underneath it. When they try to pull it, they get on top of it. Here comes the 1-2 on Hobson. Ball 2 outside. Skelton trying to help out the right-hander. He drew that back toward the plate. It did not prove to be effective. KC batting 2-2. Simon ready to go. The pitch, line drive up the middle, base hit center field. The Barnstormers finally get a base runner against Simon after he retires 18 men in a row. And that's exactly what the Barnstormers need to do against this right-hander. 9th game in a row, Hobson has hit safely. Josh Bell stepping in with a runner at first and one out. Bell tonight is 0 for 2. And Josh Bell needs to do something similar. Can't afford to hit a ground ball here. Swing and a miss. Wicked cut by Bell. It is 0 and 1. Simon, for the year, has given up only 4 home runs. A ball is inside. It is 1 and 1. Lancaster has 1 of those 4. Strike 2. Inside corner, located by Simon. Here's the pitch, forcing Bell back off the plate. Make it 2 and 2. That home run was hit by Hobson back on July 21st in the 8th inning. Josh Bell batting 2 and 2. Hobson aboard with 1 out here in the 7th. And the pitch, ground ball right side, diving try, Carrillo can't come up with it. That's a base hit into right, and Lancaster has a threat with runners at first and second and 1 out. Carrillo just couldn't quite get there. Sean Halton will come to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. First threat of any kind for the Barnstormers since the first inning. Hobson at second, Bell at first. We're seeing some lightning out beyond the fence in left field, but it's a ways back. We should not have any effect on this game, at least not in regulation. Pitch to Halton, crushed foul. Up into the lightning. Barnstormers start to get the Kyle Simon. He may be elevating his pitches a little bit here in the 7th inning. Tough to tell. Halton bats 0 and 1. Sean has popped the second and flied to center. Here's the 0-1 offering, a swing and a miss. The second strike on Halton. Blake Galen, the designated hitter, waits on deck. The Barnstormers with the chance to take their first lead of the night. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, ball gets loose from the New Britain bullpen, and time will be called as a result. A right-hander is warming up down there for Stan Clyburn. Halton bats at 1 and 1. Here's the set and the pitch. Ground ball towards shortstop, and through, base hit center field. Hobson is going to be held at third by DJ Boston. On the single up the middle by Halton. Bases are full. Galen coming on. Does Stan Clyburn make the switch? Jason Blanton is going to come out for a visit. Hobson's single was sharp. The other two have been of the seeing eye variety, which means that Simon is still getting ground balls, and he just has to get one hit at somebody to protect the tie. Blake Galen looking to get the ball to the outfield here and reasonably far back into the outfield. 1-1 deadlock, lower half of the 7th inning as the Barnstormers have strung together 3 consecutive singles. Galen has popped the short and he has struck out in this game. Bases loaded. The last thing that you want is a ground ball out of Galen. Kraus comes in a little bit closer out in center. Ground ball foul off of Galen's bat. It is 0-1. Barnstormers looking to hang in the playoff chase. They need just about every game. storm is well off to the north and west. To Galen, 0-1. Simon misses the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 1. Hobson at third, Bell at second, Halton the runner at first base. So you've only got moderate speed at third in the event of a fly ball. Here's the pitch. Galen swings and misses at an offering in the dirt. It is 1-2. Kevin Ahrens, the second baseman, waits on deck. Defense straight away. Here comes the 1-2. Galen pops this up. The shortstop McGuigan fading back. He'll concede it to Golson coming on. And the left fielder will make the catch for the second out. Nowhere near deep enough to spring Hobson loose from third base. It's all up to Ahrens. Here in the seventh inning, Kevin Ahrens is 0 for 2. So now a base hit is required. Ahrens with the bases loaded, 4 for 13 on the season. Galen is now 1 for 3. Runners remain everywhere with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Kevin Ahrens, outside and low, ball 1, no strikes. Simon has not walked the batter since Gindle's starting the night. Here's a 1-0, fired through, a strike called, 1-1. Three consecutive hits with 1 out in the 7th inning. But now 2 away with the bases loaded. Kevin Ahrens is up there. Ahrens is fly to center and grounded to short. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Lifted foul out of play to the right. And Kyle Simon is 1 pitch, 1 strike from getting out of the mess. Bases remain full here in the 7th inning. And a 1-2 breaking ball driven down the right field line, foul up onto the deck. Still 1-2. Barnstormers begin to get to Kyle Simon in the 7th inning, but he's still 1 strike away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. To Ahrens, 1-2 pitch, ground ball, shortstop. McGuigan going the short way to second, and that will end the inning. Simon pitches his way out of it. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers leave 3. We complete the 7th inning here tonight, still in a 1-1 tie.
The Federal Tap House isn't just a great place to meet your friends for a drink. The upstairs mezzanine and art loft has one of the largest collections of private artwork in downtown Lancaster, and a secluded banquet room that is great for private parties, rehearsal dinners, or business meetings with a big screen and AV hookups. Let the Tap House take the worry out of your next private function. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster. Call 717-490-9632 to book your event.
When the alarm goes off, the rush is on. And then you step into your Lexus ES. Now that's better. Exquisitely crafted details and exceptional comforts surround you. Before you know it, it's back to the grind. And not a moment too soon. A moment just for you. It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. With innovative technology and refined styling, go ahead, spoil yourself. See Bobby Ray Hall Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
We head to the 8th inning tonight. Craig Maddox, Cole Garner, and Michael Krause will step in against Tanner Peters, who remains on the hill for the Barnstormers after a 1-2-3 7th inning. A huge opportunity goes by the boards for the Barnstormers in the 7th. Now here is Maddox, 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly tonight. The runs for both ball clubs scored in the 1st inning. We have been in the 1-1 clinch ever since. Maddox goes after the first offering from Peters and drives a foul out of play to the left. It is 0-1. 5 hits for New Britain, 4 for the Barnstormers. There is not an extra base hit to be found here tonight. Gonzalez and Simon, the 2 starting pitchers, magnificent. To Maddox, here's the 0-1. Sharp ground ball, base hit right field, and New Britain gets the leadoff man on here in the 8th inning. The Bees have all 6 of their hits from the left side of the plate and only 2 left-handed batters. Cole Garner will step in. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. The walk was intentional back in the 1st inning. In the 6th, with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs, he lined to short on a diving catch made by Dean Wilson. Slight advantage right now to New Britain with the leadoff man aboard here in the 8th inning. Peters brings it home, fastball high. Garner with a check swing almost accidentally fouled it. Ball 1, no strikes. There's additional action in the Barnstormers bullpen. Another right-hander tuning up. Here comes the 1-0. Big swing and a miss by Garner. It is 1-1. Cole had his taste of the major leagues, didn't last long. Colorado Rocky a few years ago. 1 ball and 1 strike. Peters delivers, and this is chopped foul right near the plate. Nobody knows where the ball is. It's actually in foul territory up the 3rd baseline. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Garner. Infield set, double play depth. Maddox not really a steal threat. He's 1 out of 2 on the year. To Garner, 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He goes down. Peters strikes out his 2nd. Michael Krause to step in. Krause is 0 for 2 with a walk.
You'll never strike out. When you pick pork, visit porkbeinspired.com.
Tanner Peters looking awfully good out there this evening.
Fielder, Michael Krause.
1 out with the runner at first. New Britain has left 8 runners on base. The Barnstormers hadn't left anybody until stranding the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out, 1 on. Krause drives the ball to dead center. Sprinting back is Gindel. He's not going to get there. The ball hitting the base of the wall. Maddox is going to be held up at 3rd base. On its 2nd with a double is Krause. A long 2-bagger to center. And New Britain with runners at 2nd and 3rd. 1 out here in the 8th inning. John Griffin stepping in. Griffin 0 for 2 with a walk here tonight. Butch Hobson is on his way out to the mound. Michael Krause with his 24th double of the season. And already the call goes down to the bullpen. 2nd and 3rd with 1 away. Tanner Peters gives the baseball over. We have the pitching change here in the 8th inning. 1-1 our score here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids' meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
It's Pete Andrelzik taking over here in the 8th inning, and he has got to wiggle out of one whale of a jam. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. John Griffin stepping in, right-handed batter for the New Britain Bees, right-handed hitting first baseman, who is 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game here tonight. Maddox led off the inning with a base hit to right, and after Cole Garner struck out, Michael Kraus hit the ball farther by a couple of hundred feet than anybody else has in this game, driving the ball off the base of the fence in center field. Runners are at 2nd and 3rd, and Andrelzik coming on to face Griffin. John Griffin, a man who has been known to hurt the Barnstormers in the late innings, and he's not going to be the guy who will do it here. The Barnstormers will intentionally walk Griffin and bring on Steve Carrillo, the second baseman, who is 0 for 3. That move is certainly understandable. Andrelzik with more right-handed action behind him in the bullpen. Pete now looking to get a ground ball double play. If it's hit to a corner infielder, the ball is coming home. If it's hit to Wilson or Aarons, they'll try to get the double play through second. 1-1 score, bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 8th. Simon just worked his way out of an identical jam in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to Carrillo, driven toward the gap, right center field. That ball is going to get all the way to the wall. Maddox scores. Kraus is going to follow. Griffin being waved, throw home the tag, and he is out at home plate. So it's 3-1. Ending up at 3rd is Carrillo with 2 outs in the inning. Beautiful relay to nail Griffin, but damage is done here in the 8th inning. Maddox and Kraus both score. Those were runners belonging to Tanner Peters. The first pitch thrown by Pete Andrelzik is driven to the gap in right center for a 2-run double. So the Barnstormers down by 2 tonight. 2 outs. Runner at third base. That's Carrillo. And a chopper over toward third. Bell charging. He's got to fire on. He'll get McGuigan 5-3, but 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning with no errors, and 1 man is left on base. So we're going to go to the bottom half of the 8th inning tonight. The Barnstormers are in trouble. The score is New Britain 3 and Lancaster 1.
The first game was Bridgeport 3, Long Island 2. Southern Maryland at
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids' meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
We at Gockenauer Appliance know that buying a major appliance for your home is a major and tough decision. We want you to make that process easier. We now have a new website at Gockenauers.com that you can view live inventory, spec sheets, and all of our closeout and scratch and dent inventory. Browse the site and either purchase online or stop into our store and see the models in our huge showroom. Remember, we still offer the best brands at the best prices and back it up with the best service around. Gockenauers in East Petersburg and now online.
Eric Fornataro takes over for Kyle Simon here in the 8th inning. Simon gives up 4 hits and a run in 7 innings of work tonight with 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He is in position to win his 7th of the season as New Britain, on the 2-run double by Steve Carrillo, has taken a lead 3-1. The out on Griffin, by the way, 9-4-2. And Drelzik threw only 2 pitches. The double and then the ground out. Mike McDade leading off the 8th inning. Dean Wilson on deck, then Caleb Gindel facing Eric Fornataro. The right-hander coming in at 1-4 with a 3.79 ERA in 28 appearances. He gave up 2 hits and a run here last night. McDade awaiting the pitch. It's way inside. Ball 1, no strikes. Lancaster failed to make anything out of a bases-loaded opportunity in the bottom of the 7th. And then New Britain scores 2 in the top of the 8th. To McDade, 1-0, gets jammed, hits an easy ground ball to Carrillo at second and becomes out number 1 here in the 8th inning. It'll bring on shortstop Dean Wilson. He is 0 for 2.
Shortstop Dean Wilson.
Caleb Gindel waiting on deck. Pitch fouled to the right side and out of play. 0-1 to Wilson. More action in the Lancaster bullpen. Another right-hander throwing. That looks like Corey Burns. To Wilson, he gets jammed. Little floater to the shortstop McGuigan for out number 2. Caleb Gindel coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a walk here tonight. The candle really beginning to flicker on this Lancaster Barnstormers 2016 ball club. They had to win on this homestand. They got 4 outs left with which to work here tonight. A ball is low on Gindel, 1-0. They lost 4-2 here last night. They cost themselves defensively. To Gindel, 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 is outside, 2-0. Fornataro peering in, has the side. Gindel gets a breaking ball up and away, 3-0. Trayvon Robinson, who's got power from both sides of the plate, waits on deck. Gindel should be taking a pitch here. 3 balls and nothing. The Fornataro delivery is low, and Robinson will get a chance. Gindel walks for the 2nd time in the game, the only 2 walks Lancaster has picked up all night. Robinson to step in. Trayvon with a base hit in the 1st inning. He has struck out the 2 visits since. Casey Hobson in the on-deck circle. Robinson has 12 home runs on the year, 3 as a Barnstormer. If nothing else, you want to get Hobson to the plate this inning. Swing and a slow tamper out in front of the plate. Skelton will jump on it, and that will erase Robinson quickly. He's out 2-3 And Hobson will only be able to lead off the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. 8 innings in the books. It is New Britain 3 and the Barnstormers 1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
James Skelton will lead off an inning for the 5th time tonight. The left-handed batting catcher is 3 for 4 with a run scored. New Britain with the 3-1 lead. Pete Andrelzik will stay in. A left-hander throws behind him in the bullpen. Here's the pitch to Skelton, and it's outside, ball 1-0. Hobson, Bell, and Halton will bat in the bottom of the 9th. And they are likely to be facing Gil Blair. Starts to warm up in the pen. The lefty closer, swing and a miss by Skelton. It is 1-1. New Britain ahead by 2. Steve Carrillo coming up with the clutch hit in the 8th inning. Bases loaded double into right center. 1-1 on Skelton. Fastball pumped onto the outside corner for his second strike. It is 1-2. Tanner Peters on the hook for the loss. He looked great in the 7th inning and then did get the strikeout of Garner in the 8th, but 2 hits around that, and those 2 men score. 1-2 to Skelton. Andrelzik to the plate, swung on and missed. Pete Andrelzik chalking up the strikeout. That's the 7th for Lancaster pitching. Greg Golson to the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt.
Left-hander Greg Golson.
One out, nobody on base. Golson stepping in. Andrelzik ready to go. First pitch to Golson is low. Ball 1 and no strikes. A couple of ball games tonight are in extra innings, so it's really tough to figure out how these playoff races are going to go. Though Southern Maryland has now taken a lead at York in the 10th. To Golson, here's the 1-0. At angles across for a strike called, 1-1. Lancaster has managed only 4 singles in the game, but 3 of them came in succession in the 7th inning. When the Barnstormers made nothing out of that, it gave New Britain some momentum. Hopper back toward the mound, but a foul ball on Golson. Still 1-2. Even if you don't see the contact, when you see a ball bouncing around that crazily, you know it hits something back there and is foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Golson. Jovan Rosa is on deck. Andrelzik ready to go. The motion, and a Golson swing and a miss at the fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrelzik here in the 9th inning. Rosa will step in. 0 for 4. He has reached on a bad throw. The Barnstormers have the lanky lefty Johnny Drozd warming up in the bullpen. Andrelzik will try and get rid of Rosa and hope that Drozd might have to pitch a 10th inning. It's up to the Barnstormers' bats in the bottom of the 9th against a man who has become a very good closer for the New Britain Bees. Chopped foul by Rosa, no balls and a strike. Sean Gilblair gave up a base hit last night. He won't be facing anybody that saw him last night either. Last night he saw Jacobs, Aarons, McDade, and Galen. McDade with a base hit to left against him. To Rosa, down and away. Ball 1 and strike 1. Here's the motion. Andrelzik to the plate, and Rosa drives the ball to left center field. Hustling over is Gendel. Caleb is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Andrelzik in the 9th. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Lancaster will need 2 at the end of 8 1/2 innings here. New Britain 3 and the Barnstormers 1.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown is the place where baseball legends live forever. It's where the exciting moments of today stand along the iconic tales of the past. With new exhibits and artifacts telling incredible stories, the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a must-see destination for fans of all ages. Baseball in Cooperstown. Oh my! Plan your visit today. Check out baseballhall.org.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
Casey Hobson, Josh Bell, and Sean Halton will be facing Sean Gilblair here in the Barnstormers half of the 9th inning. New Britain with a 3-1 lead. Lancaster has mustered only 4 singles in the ballgame. Hobson had one of those back in the 7th to extend his hitting streak to 9. 1 out of 3 on the night for KC. Eric Fornatero got 3 outs last inning, around a walk. Now a swing and a miss by Hobson against Gilblair. It is 0-1. Sean Gilblair, 19 saves on the year for the New Britain Bees. Man who hails from Windham, Connecticut, 29 years of age. He's ahead of Hobson, 0-1. Gilblair into the motion. KC looks at a fastball for his second strike, and it's a quick 0-2. Somerset has beaten Sugarland in 10 innings, 4-3. Sugarland loses, I believe that's now 11 out of 12. 0-2, Hobson goes down on 3 pitches, a swing and a miss. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Josh Bell to the plate. Bell is 1 for 3. York is losing in the bottom of the 10th against Southern Maryland. Here's the pitch to Bell, a strike on the inside corner, says Derek Moshe. It is 0-1. Sugarland's in trouble. In the wild card race, if the Barnstormers do not score 2 runs before 2 more outs tonight, New Britain would be within 1/2 game of the Sugarland Skeeters. Bell batting at 1-1. Sean Halton waits on deck. Gil Blair to the plate, and Bell takes a second strike on the outside corner. It is 1-2. Steve Carrillo with the big hit tonight for the New Britain Bees. But the bigger story is how well New Britain's pitching has controlled the Barnstormers the first 2 games of this series. Bell batting 1-2. The wind and the pitch. Josh with a fly ball to dead center field. Back goes Krause. He's got to play and will make the catch. Sean Halton, the final hope for the Barnstormers here tonight. And not yet for the season, but it is growing very, very dim here. Halton is 1 for 3 tonight. He grounded a single into center field back in the 7th inning. First pitch strike to Sean. It is 0-1. Next offering, swing and a miss. Very quickly 0-2. Gil Blair, 1 strike left to get. New Britain getting in position to get to the playoffs at least as a wild card. They would still be 3.5 games behind Somerset in the divisional race, but just 1/2 behind Sugarland as a wild card, and then New Britain would go to York. Beaten foul, it's 0-2. York right now only percentage points ahead of Sugarland in the divisional race. But that is if Southern Maryland holds on tonight. And it's not over yet in York. 0-2 to Halton. In the air, foul down the right field line. The Barnstormers will stay alive. Blake Galen, the designated hitter, waits on deck. And it looks like Long Island may be on its way to a split with Bridgeport. It's just 2-0 Ducks in the bottom of the 4th inning in Game 2. Bridgeport winning the opener by a score of 3-2. New Britain, if that happens, would be in a tie with Bridgeport for second. To Halton, 0-2, another foul to the right, and the game continues. We did have a rain delay after 4. Nothing really came of it. Tarp off. Rain delay lasted 15 minutes. And most of that was spent not watching it rain, but watching the tarp crew in action. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Halton goes down on an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Skelton will fire to first, and that will end it here tonight. Lancaster totally dominated by New Britain. Great night. The Barnstormers have managed only 10 hits in this series. The hard-hitting Barnstormers have been kept without a home run for the 2nd consecutive night after homering in 11 straight ball games. We'll be back with the wrap-up show. That will be coming your way next. Our final score here this evening, the New Britain Bees 3 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 1.
No home runs in the game tonight, and the time of the game 2 hours and 20.
Once again, thank you, Lancaster. With your support, we are once again the #1 dealer in our district, according to a recent Mitsubishi report. Hi, this is Richard Bennett, co-owner of Lancaster Mitsubishi. To continue our success through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely zero money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve.
Our final score this evening, New Britain over the Barnstormers 3-1. For the Bees, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 9 left. And for the Lancaster Barnstormers, 1 run on 4 hits with an error and 4 men left on base. The win to Kyle Simon, who goes to 7-5 on the year. Tanner Peters with the loss, he falls to 5-4. The save to Sean Gilblair, his 20th of the season. No home runs in the ball game tonight. It took 2 hours, 21 minutes to play, not including the 15 minutes of the rain delay. 3,620 on hand on Peckway Valley night here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Each club scored in the first inning. James Skelton led off with a single to center field for New Britain. He moved up on a sacrifice bunt by Greg Golson. Then Jovan Rosa hit a ground ball at the third baseman Josh Bell, but Bell, usually deadly accurate with the throws, misfired and skipped the ball on past Casey Hobson. Skelton moved to third, Rosa on its second on the error, and then Craig Maddox came through with a sacrifice fly to left field, giving New Britain the 1-0 lead. The Barnstormers would tie it up in the bottom half of the first inning. Caleb Gindel drew a walk. Trayvon Robinson bounced a single into center field, and Lancaster had men at first and second with nobody out. Casey Hobson rifled a ground ball at the second baseman, Steve Carrillo. Carrillo did not handle it cleanly. It cost a double play, and it left the Barnstormers with runners at first and third with 1 out. Hobson was sent on a 3-2 pitch to Josh Bell. Bell struck out. Hobson pulled up short and forced a run down, and before the Bees could tag him out, Caleb Gindel came across with a run, and we had ourselves a 1-1 tie. It stayed that way into the bottom half of the 7th when the Barnstormers had their big opportunity, loading the bases with 1 out. Casey Hobson singled to center. Josh Bell grounded a base hit into right. Sean Halton grounded a base hit up the middle. Hobson was held at third base on that. Lancaster never scored as Blake Galen flied out to shallow left, and Kevin Aarons hit into an inning-ending 6-4 force out. The Barnstormers at that point missing out on that chance. New Britain would not miss out on its chance. With Craig Maddox leading off in the 8th inning against Tanner Peters. He singled into right field. Peters struck out Cole Garner. Michael Krause with a double thundered over the head of Caleb Gindel out in center, putting runners at second and third with 1 out. Pete Andrelzik came on. The signal was to walk John Griffin intentionally, but the first pitch to Steve Carrillo was drilled into the alley out in right center field, scoring 2 runs. Griffin was thrown out trying to add a third, and that's where we finished up tonight. 3-1 was our final score. We'll be back with a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, including a barn-burning finish at York. We'll tell you what happened there in the rest of the Atlantic League and the Major Leagues when we return on the wrap-up show here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
The Barnstormers go down here tonight. Meanwhile, 26 miles to our west, the York Revolution hosted the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland took a 5-4 lead in the top of the 10th inning. That was the last we told you. York loaded the bases in the bottom half of that 10th inning with one out. And Craig Stem, the one-time New Britain Bee, was able to wiggle himself out of it as he struck out Andres Perez and Michael Burgess in succession. So with that, York will remain in the virtual tie with Sugar Land for first place in the Freedom Division. Southern Maryland is starting to advance. The Blue Crabs are now 3.5 out. The Barnstormers will remain 6 games back in the Freedom Division. Now, on the other side of the league, they played Somerset beat Sugar Land. I should remind you of that. 4-3 was the final score in 10 innings there. Bridgeport wins the opener 3-2 against the Long Island Ducks at Bethpage Ballpark to make up for last evening's rainout. In Game 2 of that doubleheader, they're in the top half of the 5th inning now. Long Island maintaining a 2-0 lead. If that should happen to hold up, Somerset would see its lead over Bridgeport increase to 3.5. New Britain stays within 3.5 of the top spot in the Liberty Division. Now, looking at the wild card race, it is New Britain breathing down the necks of the Sugar Land Skeeters. New Britain pulling to within 1/2 game in the overall record of the Sugar Land Skeeters. Sugar Land now 67-63 for the year. New Britain is 66-63 on the campaign. So that is the result of all of our action tonight around the Atlantic League. Taking a look at Major League Baseball this evening, and we'll have to once again wait for the screen to refresh. They finally got underway at Nats Park. Atlanta and Washington in the middle of the 5th inning tied at 1. St. Louis and Pittsburgh are all even at 3 apiece in the top half of the 8th inning. Miami swarming the Phillies tonight, 6-0. They're in the bottom half of the 8th inning down in South Florida. Milwaukee is up 1-0 over the Cubs in the 6th. San Francisco has taken a 4-3 lead at Colorado. They're through 4. Boston leads San Diego 2-1 in the bottom of the 2nd. Earlier today, the Mets dropped Cincinnati 6-3. Arizona and the Dodgers still to come. In the American League, Oakland over the LA Angels earlier. 4-1 was the final score. The Chicago White Sox put a small dent in the Detroit Tigers' playoff hopes today with a 7-4 win at Chicago. Tampa Bay dropped the Orioles by a final score of 7-6. Tonight, the New York Yankees, they're making a charge. They're up 2-0 over Toronto through 8 innings. Cleveland leading Houston 6-5. They're playing in the top half of the 8th at Progressive Field. Kansas City leads Minnesota 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Texas and Seattle will come up later on. The series will conclude tomorrow night against the New Britain Bees. 7:05 is our start time here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers with Joe Gardner on the mound. He is 2-0. Mike Lee, who was with the Barnstormers earlier this season, will be making the start for New Britain. Lee is 3-0 in 6 starts for the Bees, 7-5 overall on the campaign. We'll have it for you beginning with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report tomorrow evening at 6:45. So until then, for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, waiting for you on a very big weekend coming up here at the ballpark. I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.